Question is, it must have felt terrific to have a win after you fought so hard for the start of the season.
Yeah, it's definitely just good for the girls, I guess, to get the reward for the hard work that they've put in. Obviously everyone's shoulders are feeling a little bit lighter this week with the monkey off the back, but it was really pleasing for the girls to get that reward and I guess show everyone, the change that we've had over the last probably 3 weeks that have, or two or three games, that's sort of, helping the girls understand where we're heading and showing our fans and the club, I suppose, that we're heading in the right direction.
You were remaining really positive and looking for the upside in losses, but did it still surprise you a little bit that a win was that close?
Oh no, look, to be honest, there were a number of occasions so far this season where we thought we probably actually played well enough to win and probably should have won, and we've let ourselves down. So whilst we were winless, I don't think at any stage we sort of felt hopeless, if that makes sense. So that, I guess that confidence was always there, and I guess that's why we were able to remain so positive. And I think, as I've said all along, the girls have done a fantastic job of keeping that positive mind frame, even though we racked up 12 losses there, and that can be pretty hard to come back from. But they've done a really good job of sticking together and staying positive and staying to the task. And coming with the coaches, I guess, on that journey that we're on. We got the reward for that on Friday, and hopefully there's a few more to come.
You mentioned over the last 2 or 3 games have been quite a vast improvement. Was there a moment in a particular game or something at training that you felt sort of clicked and you could see this coming? Or?
Look, I think we probably had a patch of about 4 games over 3 weeks or so where we probably played our worst basketball for the season. I think we gave up over 80 points 4 games in a row. Our turnovers are in the 20s, and we were likely to get 55 shots up. And that sort of culminated in the Eltham game over there, where we were pretty much wiped off the court from the opening tip. And I guess, as I've said to the girls, that was probably the rock bottom. And I think generally the night is darkest just before the dawn. And I think we reached that point. So we spent the following week sort of, I guess, reacclimating to our cultural stuff that we've sort of been working on all season, and just trying to change some mindsets. And I think that week, really set us up, and I think that sort of showed itself in that Mount Gambier Keilor road trip. Even though we didn't come away with wins, the way we played was the basketball that we've been looking for a while now. So. I won't say there was necessarily a moment as such, but it was those 2 games that sort of sent the signal to everyone, players and coaches included, that hey, we're on the right track now. We've sort of woken up from that slumber for the past 4 weeks, and our win's pretty close. So it's been a challenge to try and keep everyone on that same page, but they've done a really good job to stay positive and find, I guess, that formula. And it shows. I guess there wasn't anything technically, or it hasn't been anything technically that we've changed really, other than, I guess, finding a better balance in terms of playing fast and playing with some control. I think earlier in the season we probably focusing on the control aspect and probably just inviting too much defensive pressure, whereas now we've sort of sped the game up a little bit and using our attack to aid our defence. And then really it's just a mindset thing from there. So, and it's really showed itself in a player like Zoe Banks, who I think over the past 3 weeks has really grown immeasurably. And I think for us, with her sort of starting to play with a bit more joy, and having the confidence to use her skills offensively, I think that's a bit of a barometer for our team. And as a young girl in this league, she's really starting to impress some people. So I think it's really exciting that a player like that has really started to generate something like that for us, and hopefully she can keep going.
Now they've had a taste of victory, do you hope that they want to replicate it and not go back to feeling how you feel after a loss?
Yeah, exactly. That's the hope. Obviously it's a bit of a pressure release, but to their credit, they've come to training this week and the intensity's gone to another level again. So really excited about what that might mean over the next few games. Obviously there's no easy games, and we know it's still going to be a challenge. But hopefully now that they've got the taste of what it feels like to walk off the court with everyone giving you a pat on the back for winning instead of just being, good effort. Hopefully we can get a few more of them.
What were some of the aspects of did well that you probably would have done as well at the start of the season?
Yeah, I think Friday's a tough one because I think Dandenong played us tough, but probably weren't not necessarily at the level of the couple of teams that we played previously. So I guess the challenge for us in that game was to stick to the way that we wanted to play the game, not get caught up with the scoreboard, and I guess ensure that we used our skill to stay ahead of them rather than having them sort of play up to our standard, if that makes sense. So I thought it was a mature performance from the girls in that regard. Obviously, I think we can play a lot better, to be perfectly honest. But it was a mature performance in terms of being able to handle that. Obviously not having many games where we've been leading to sort of navigate our way through that was pleasing, and hopefully that'll hold us in good stead for the next couple of weeks.
You've touched on it a bit, but how was the joy amongst the group after the game? It has been a tough season, not winning much at all. It must have been nice for you and the group.
Yeah, certainly a different vibe in the change rooms afterwards, that's for sure. I guess the disappointing thing was that our assistant coach, Ross Park, wasn't able to be there because he was locked up with COVID. So spent a bit of time FaceTiming him into the change rooms and giving him a bit of a razz up. So the girls are up and about, and I think they had a get together over the weekend to sort of decompress and enjoy that moment. But we'll quickly back to work on Monday night. So yeah, looking forward to what that means over the next couple of weeks, and hopefully we can keep that going.
What does this weekend look like? Where you go?
So we've got Nuttawading on Saturday night and Frankston on Sunday. So Nuttawading, both teams got some serious talent. Nuttawading sitting fourth at the moment, looking to, I guess, cement their top four spot, whilst Frankston are sitting just outside the top eight, looking to get back in there. So again, two really challenging games for us. But again, games that if we can piece it together for 4 quarters, that we're going to be right there. We match up quite well with both teams in terms of size. And if we keep ticking the boxes in terms of the KPIs that we've set ourselves, we'll be right there when the whips are cracking at the end of the game, and hopefully that's what happens.
It'd be nice to ruin a few finals dreams between now and the end of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's probably going to be the message over the next couple of weeks, is we're going to be playing some teams that have got everything to play for, whereas we've sort of got nothing to lose. And so we'll be taking that mindset in, and I think everything that we do from here on in is about continuing to build and looking forward to, I guess, next year and the future in terms of the direction we want to head as a team, and sort of show our fans and our supporters and the club and our sponsors that we are heading in the right direction. All the hard work that we've done since December hasn't been for nothing, and hopefully we can put a few more wins on the board with that.
On the back of that, how important was that win to, I guess, the girls seem confident and upbeat regardless, but that just sort of gives them a bit more confidence that you're doing the right thing?
Yeah, no, it's huge. Yeah, it's as a coach, you sort of need those things to sort of give them that affirmation. And as I said, it was challenging to sort of keep them up, particularly when we had that little rough patch there. But yeah, to get that win, to give them that affirmation, and I guess to show them and let them feel that they're sort of heading in the right direction is really important. And hopefully, yeah, as I said, we can get a couple more of those to hammer that home.